This is all built by one man. His name is Isaiah Zagar. He has lived on South Street for over 40 years. He started mosaicing in 1968 in his house, which at that time was the Eyes Gallery, which is still open and operating today. It's a folk art gallery, as well as him and his wife's home. He started mosaicing to make a folk art environment for their folk art store, also in response to a breakdown that he had, and it became sort of his therapy. So they were part of a group of people who were buying up these buildings and transforming the community. So he kept buying buildings and used them kind of as his canvas. So this was one of them. He bought this building in 1994. There was an abandoned lot next door, which was collecting trash and people who were using the bathroom. It was just very dirty and unattractive. So Isaiah asked the man, who was an investor from Boston, if he could put a fence up on his property to keep people out. And the man agreed. And then Isaiah contacted him again and asked him if he could do a project on his lot because he was inspired to build the Magic Gardens. And the man had never seen the lot, had, kind of at that point was sick of hearing from Isaiah, so he said, sure, not really realizing who Isaiah was or the capability of what a little project would be. The investor from Boston decided to come back to come back to South Street to sell his plot of land. And he saw what Isaiah had done. He was totally upset, and he wanted to bulldoze it and make Isaiah pay for that. He was also quoted as saying, "I've seen art, this is trash, and it belongs in the dumpster." And Isaiah, was heartbroken. He didn't want to lose his space, and luckily, because he had been mosaicing in the neighborhood for so long, and the community felt his work was very valuable, they wanted to save this space, so the community chipped in and formed a nonprofit to formally buy the space from the investor in Boston. So now we're a nonprofit. We're open to the public as a museum and gallery. We own the Magic Gardens lot. We still rent this space from Isaiah to function as our museum. It brings a unique art experience. It's a little bit less conventional, I guess, of a place to visit. It's very unique, and definitely we give back a lot to the community by, reaching out to different organizations, making this a cultural hub, offering a lot of tours and educating people about artwork and Isaiah's artwork, and being really active with everyone. We love collaboration and just keeping the creativity alive. This exhibition is called Beyond Boundaries. It's a collaboration between Oasis Art Center and PDDC, which are both art centers that work with adults that have developmental and intelligence disabilities. So we do this as a collaboration with them to allow members from their facilities to exhibit and sell their artwork. And we always do exhibits that relate to Isaiah, his past, or his experiences, or his artwork. So Isaiah has definitely had some mental health issues, just in terms of him having a breakdown in the early 70s. He went through a shock from moving from, he was in the Peace Corps for about 3 years, and then came back to Philadelphia in 1968, which is a very tumultuous time, and it was kind of like polar opposites in terms of the environment. Isaiah's come to kind of approach his artwork as a form of therapy, and we feel like it's really important to kind of glorify that in this exhibition.